and you will all be able to relate. It is going to be a very interesting chapter and you will all be able to relate to your experiences when I talk about conflict in this chapter. So this is going to be, I'll not go through all the points now. We will anyways be doing it one by one. So let's start with what is conflict and what are the reasons for conflict. Now, conflict, if I talk from the organization point of view, conflict is a part of every company. Even big names like, Infosys, Tata's, Reliance, they are big corporates of India. They also have seen big fights, conflicts. The fight between Ratan Tata and the fight between Ryan Murthy and Vishal Sikka, the fight between the Mukesh Ambani and Anil Ambani, the heirs of Reliance. So conflict is not something that can be avoided. Yes, it needs to be handled, but it is ubiquitous. Please try to understand that. Now, what is conflict? See, conflict is nothing. Conflict is a state of disagreement. When we do not agree with somebody. Now, it can be due to misunderstanding also. Sometimes we develop harsh feeling towards others, but it is just a misunderstanding. But anyways, it's a state of disagreement which results from different needs of people, different beliefs of people, and sometimes there are scarce resources, we fight for those resources, and sometimes we have different values and perceptions, which basically leads to deterioration of relationship between the two people. So it is all common sense. Now I will discuss basically about 4 basic issues which are involved in conflict. First one is facts. Two set of people having different set of facts will always argue with each other. They will be in conflict with each other. For example, you might have seen TV debates in which people from different parties, they keep talking about different set of facts. They never reach a conclusion. Then goals. Now suppose there are 2 founders of the company and they have different set of goals. One founder wants a stability, one founder wants to go for further growth. So when goals are different, obviously it will lead to argument and it will lead to conflict. Methods. Sometimes goals are same. For example, again, there are 2 founders of the company, both agree that the goal is to achieve growth. Now the conflict might be over the methods. Some might think, or one founder might think that it is better to achieve the growth by entering into new markets. Right? That is, for example, they are in Northern India. Let's go to Southern India also. Let's capture the market. That can be one method. Another founder might think that no, the method which is more suitable is to launch new products in the current market. That is, if you are in a northern market, maybe you launch new product in the northern region itself. That is another method. So sometimes the conflict can arise due to different methods being followed by 2 different persons. Then values. Values is something really important. They are very core to our personality. And if 2 set of people have different values, obviously it will lead to conflict. For example, the conflict between Cyrus Mistry and Tata. Right? Now, the actual reason is never known in media. There have been different reasons. But one of the reasons that came out of conflict between Cyrus Mistry and Ratan Tata was that Tata has different value system. Ratan Tata wanted Cyrus Mistry to visit factories, discuss with workers, sit with them, address their issues, and not just run the business by sitting in Mumbai. That was the value system of Ratan Tata, whereas Cyrus Mistry believed in running all the offices, or running all the businesses by sitting in Mumbai and not going to factories and all. So there was a conflict between them on the basis of value system. We can't say who was right or who was wrong, but it was value system of both these people that led to one of the biggest conflict in the corporate history of India. So you would have understood by now what is conflict and what are the 4 issues, basic issues which leads to conflict. Now let us try to understand in detail about the reasons or factors which are responsible for organizational conflict. First one is unclear responsibility. Now many a times in the organization the work is delegated but the responsibility is not clearly defined, and when the damage happens, then people start pointing finger towards each other, which leads to conflict. So it is very important that no clear-cut responsibility is defined. Next is scarcity of resources. So when resources are limited, people compete to get these resources. Obviously, there would be conflict. I'll try to explain this with an example of Airtel and Jio. In case of conflict between Airtel and Jio, the resources would be the customers, which they want to acquire. So customers are limited, but both of them want to expand their pie. So obviously that led to conflict by Jio reducing the prices and Airtel retaliating by also reducing the prices or blocking the calls from Jio to Airtel network. So these kind of things happen. Then managerial expectations. Again, some people, they say their manager is not good. He expects like this, which is not possible, or he thinks on a different line as I do. So the expectations of your manager, if they are on a different line than what you believe in, or if they are at a different level, which you cannot achieve, then that will also lead to conflict. This is very common. People who have been working in organizations can relate to this. Communication disruption. It's very important to talk, to communicate. Suppose there are 2 people who are working together in a team. If they do not communicate the status at the end of day to each other, right, then over a period of time, they will not understand what is happening. Is somebody ahead, is somebody lagging behind, or something like that. And therefore, communication disruption over a period of time will obviously lead to confusion and it will lead to conflict. So it's very important in an organization to communicate properly. Sometimes we assume, suppose you message your manager that I am having fever. That is one thing. Okay, you are having fever, but you also need to communicate that what is the impact, what are the deliverables that were supposed to go today will not be able to go today. So that is proper communication, right? Then misunderstanding that happens. That happens in the family also, within the friends also, in an organization also. I need not explain this. Structure. This is something very important to understand, that how the structure of an organization can lead to organizational conflict. I'll try to explain this with a very good example. Suppose he is Ram and he is Rita. They work in a furniture mart. Ram sells the furniture, that he is a salesman, and Rita is the one which basically approves credit application, that is application of those people who want to buy on credit, basically loans. Now, Ram wants to sell as much as furniture. He doesn't care whether somebody is buying on cash or on credit, he is eager to sell it. But if he is able to convince somebody who is buying furniture on credit, once the credit application goes to Rita, and if Rita rejects that, obviously Ram will feel bad because the sale prospect has been lost. So though both of them might be very good friends, they might be neighbors, their children might be studying in the same school, they might be having very friendly nature, but their work profile, which is defined by the structure in the organization, is such that they would always be in the conflict, because Ram wants to sell maximum furniture, whereas Rita will block some applications for loan, and therefore the sale would not be executed in certain cases, which will make Ram sad. So their work profile, their structure in the organization leads to conflict. I hope you would have understood this. Then personal variables, our personality, our emotions, our values, they also leads to conflict. I'll give you an example. Right? For example, Bill Gates and Melinda divorced. They had a very long relationship, but in the media the news is that the breakup happened due to emotions. So Bill is a very workaholic person. When he used to return from work, and if he had some bad experience in the work, he used to carry those emotions of anger and depression in home, which really used to irritate Melinda. Right? So therefore, how the emotions can lead to bad relationship between 2 persons or can lead to conflict between 2 persons, I hope you would understand by this example. That is the breakup or the divorce of Bill Gates and Melinda. Right? So I hope all the reasons here are clear. They are not something which you need to understand. Just read it, and what I've explained, just try to gel with that, and you will never forget the reasons or factors for organizational conflict. Let's go concept check now. The conflict between A and B, due to they having different opinion on ways of completing the work is based upon. So they are having different opinion on the ways. Ways means they have the same goals, but they're not able to decide upon the methods. They believe in different methods. So this type of conflict is basically based upon methods. That is option number D. So that was about what is conflict and reasons for conflict. Now let us try to move further and discuss about what are the positive and negative aspects of conflict. Now when we discuss about conflict, the general perception is that conflict is supposed to be negative. Is this right? Is conflict always negative? Let's try to understand. There are three views on conflict with respect to whether conflict is bad or conflict is good. First one is traditional view, which says that conflict is bad, it shall be avoided at all costs. Conflict should not happen, that is the traditional view. Then there is human relations view, which says conflicts are natural, they will occur, they cannot be avoided, but they must be resolved amicably. So though traditional view says that conflicts shall be avoided, human relations view says conflicts cannot be avoided, but they must be resolved amicably. Then the third one is interactionist view. Interactionist view basically encourages conflict. It believes conflict is good for the company because as per this view, when conflict occurs, it means people have divergent views, people have different thinking, and this kind of situation leads to better decision making, creativity and innovation in the organization. So you can understand from these three views that conflict can be considered as negative or it can be considered as positive. Let us try to understand now what are some of the positive and negative aspects of conflict. So what are some of the positive aspects of conflict? First is it creates change. When conflict happens, things are challenged, status quo is challenged, rather than people just going through the motions, they challenge everything. That leads to change creation, which happens in every organization. The organizations which do not change, they go out of the business. Nokia is the best example of that. It could not adapt to new operating systems like Android or iOS and it went out of business. Innovation. Now Google is one company which is known for its innovation. In Google, conflict is always encouraged because they believe when conflict will happen again, people will come out with divergent ideas, different thinking, better brainstorming can be done, which can lead to innovation. Cohesiveness. When there is fight between two groups, within one group, the cohesiveness will increase. The bond will increase within one group. Relieving mental tension. When conflict happens, you basically say what you want to say, which was inside you since long time, and it helps you relieve mental tension. Overcoming shortcomings. When conflict happens, you evaluate yourself. You look inside you that what is wrong, which is leading to conflict. I'm really right or whether I'm wrong somewhere. So basically that helps you to analyze yourself, your strengths and weaknesses, and then you will be able to overcome your shortcomings. Effective decision making. That is again we have discussed in the previous slide. When people come out with different ideas, different thinking, it leads to better discussion and effective decision making is done. Challenging work environment. When people compete with each other to get the rewards, it basically creates a challenging work environment in which everybody is able to perform better. So these are some of the positive aspects of conflict. Now what can be the negative aspects of conflict? I think these are a bit easier to understand. You can resonate well with the negative aspects of conflict because we all generally believe that conflict has negative aspects. First is waste of time and resources. When conflict happens, a lot of time is wasted in arguing about various things, in fighting with each other, so that leads to waste of time and resources. Basically that acts as a cost to the organization because resources are being wasted. Resources are being used in something that is not giving any output. Then conflict leads to high tension among employees. Though in the previous slide, we discussed that conflict can lead to relieving of mental tension, but for some, conflict can lead to high tension, which basically leads to low productivity because then they are not able to concentrate on their work. Then it leads to discontent among some employees. They stop believing in their teammates, they stop believing in their boss, they stop believing in the organization, which leads to high attrition. Then goal displacement. Conflict can lead to goal displacement. How? Now, when a team works together, they work together to achieve a common goal, but when there is fighting within the team, the original goal is lost, and then the goal becomes to defeat each other just to compete with each other. Mistrust among people leading to lack of teamwork and coordination. So this is again something we already discussed that when conflict happens, you lose trust with your teammates, you lose trust in your boss, and that basically leads to lack of teamwork and coordination, and the goals of the organization are not achieved. The fight between Mukesh Ambani and Anil Ambani, one of the biggest in the corporate history of India, is a perfect example of negative aspects of conflict. Due to this breakup, many of the Reliance companies over a period of time went bankrupt, leading to a lot of loss to the shareholders. So that's it, guys. In this video, we shall start with types of conflict in the next video. Hello friends, welcome to this video on your chapter conflict. In this video, I am going to start with types of conflict. The conflict can be categorized into three types. First is based on the locus of conflict, second is based upon the effects, and the third is based upon the type of disagreement. Now based upon the locus of conflict, it is categorized into basically individual level, group level or organizational level. Right? We shall discuss about this in detail when we discuss about conflicts based on locus of conflict. Based upon types of conflict, it can be categorized into functional or dysfunctional conflict. Functional conflict is something actually which has a positive impact, dysfunctional conflict is something which has a negative impact. Based upon type of disagreement, that whether disagreement which is leading to conflict is based upon what are the goals, that is what needs to be done, what task needs to be done, or it is based upon relationship, that is the values or the perceptions, or it is based upon process, that how the things need to be done. We are going to discuss all these three types of conflict one by one. Let us start with first conflicts based upon locus of conflict. As I told you that in case of conflicts which are based on locus of conflict, it can be categorized into individual level, group level or organizational level. Let us start with the conflict at an individual level. At an individual level, the conflict can be categorized into intrapersonal conflict or interpersonal conflict. Intrapersonal conflict is something that is going inside your mind, within yourself, whereas interpersonal conflict is that is going between two people. I'll try to explain this with an example. Once in an interview, Sachin Tendulkar said that when he was not able to perform for 2 to 3 months, there was a thought inside his mind that whether he should retire, he should hang up his boots. But somewhere inside his heart, he got a message that no, you shall keep playing, you can do it. So at that time, when he was thinking to resign, but somewhere inside his heart, he felt that no, he should continue. That was a kind of intrapersonal conflict because the conflict was within himself. On the other hand, if I continue with the example in sports, the conflict between Virat Kohli and Anil Kumble. because they have different methods of working, right, was a kind of interpersonal conflict because that was between two people. So I hope now you can understand what is the difference between intrapersonal conflict and interpersonal conflict. Now the intrapersonal conflict, which we discussed is a conflict with oneself, can be further categorized into goal conflict and role conflict. That is, in other words, you can say intrapersonal conflict can be due to goal conflict or role conflict. Now let us first try to understand the goal conflict. Goal conflict can be approach conflict, avoidance conflict, or approach conflict. Approach conflict occurs when you have two different options and both seem to be lucrative. Right? For example, you have an option of getting promoted in the present organization, or you have an option of taking a desirable job which you have always wanted to get in another organization. So here you have two set of options, both are lucrative, and there is a conflict within yourself to decide that which one you should take. Another type of goal conflict is avoidance conflict. Here you have two set of options, both are bad for you, but you have to choose one. Then again, there is an intrapersonal conflict inside you. So what is this avoidance conflict? Let us further try to understand this with an example. Suppose you are not liking your present job, you want to leave that job, but the alternative of leaving this job means you have to look for another job. That is also not appealing to you because you know it is going to be very hectic to look for another job and to prepare for the interview. So here it is an avoidance conflict because you have two options and you want to avoid both, but anyways you would have to choose one. Next is approach avoidance conflict. So here you would have one option, but that one option would have both positive and negative consequences. So you have to decide whether to go for it or whether to leave it. For example, you are working in a company, you want to get promoted, you have been offered promotion. That is, you want that promotion, but for taking that promotion, you will also be transferred to another town which is not your hometown. So here, this option of getting promoted, which is given to you, is lucrative, but at the same time, of getting transferred away from your hometown is something bad for you. You want to avoid that. So this is an example of approach avoidance conflict. So here, from the name itself, approach, both the options lucrative, avoidance, both the options are bad, but anyways you have to choose one. Approach avoidance means there is one option both having, or there is one option having both negative and positive consequences. So I hope you are clear about the goal conflict. Second type of intrapersonal conflict is role conflict, right? So we discussed intrapersonal conflict is conflict within oneself. First type of intrapersonal conflict is goal conflict. Second is role conflict. Now what is role conflict? First of all, let us try to understand what is role. A role is a set of activities that we are expected to perform. When we are in a particular role, people who are above us, people who are below us have certain set of expectations from us, that is from our role. So role conflict occurs when you are not able to perform up to the expectations of your colleagues, your seniors or your juniors. I'll explain it with an example. Suppose you are a student. Tomorrow you have an exam, right? So as per the expectation of your teacher, you are supposed to perform good. That is, you need to study for your exam. But you also have a brother, and he's having his birthday today. You're also supposed to attend the birthday party to fulfill the expectations of your brother from you. So here now you are in a role conflict. Either you can study for the exam or either you can attend the birthday party of your brother. So that's why when you choose one, obviously there will be conflict inside you that which one to choose. So role conflict occurs basically. The first reason is conflicting expectations from different people, as I explained you here. In an organizational context, a supervisor has to take care of its workers also, but he also has to manage the expectations of management. So that's why he will always be in conflict whether to fulfill the expectations of management or whether to fulfill the expectation of workers. Then inconsistent with needs and expectations. Sometimes we are put into the role which is completely different from our needs and expectations. Suppose some manager is put into a job which just requires coordination and doing meetings with people, though he wants to work upon something which requires creativity and innovation. So if somebody is put into that kind of role which is not as per his expectation itself, then it will lead to role conflict. The third one is role overload. Sometimes too much work is assigned to one single person that is not able to complete all the work, which basically leads to confusion, depression, demotivation, which further leads to role conflict. So I hope now you're clear what is intrapersonal conflict and how intrapersonal conflict can be due to goal conflict or due to role conflict. Like the way intrapersonal conflict is divided into goal conflict and role conflict, similarly, interpersonal conflict, which is conflict between two people, can be of two types, horizontal or vertical. Horizontal conflict is when it occurs, say, between people at the same level. Say, the department head of R&D and marketing are competing for resources, which leads to conflict between them. So here, it is horizontal. That is, people who are at the same level are in conflict. Whereas vertical conflict occurs between the boss and the junior. So when there is a conflict between, say, the management and the workers, that is a vertical conflict. Or when there is a conflict between, say, boss and his junior, that is a vertical conflict. Very easy to understand. Now, what can be the causes of interpersonal conflict? It can be nature of person or situational variables. Under nature of person, it can be ego between two persons. So I think the conflict between Virat Kohli and Kumble can be categorized into this category. Value system. I earlier gave an example of how the conflict between Ratan Tata and Cyrus Mistry was due to difference in their values. So that can be categorized here. Then socio-cultural background. So I remember once I was in Europe, an Indian customer was fighting with the owner of McDonald's that how can you serve burgers with beef because cow is believed to be sacred in India. So it's our culture which makes us believe that these kind of burgers, which are beef burgers, are something unethical, whereas in Europe, people love them. So the socio-cultural backgrounds can also lead to conflict. So apart from nature of person, it can be situational variables also. Interest conflict. Sometimes people have different interests, right? So therefore, as per the situation, what serves their interest, they start following that, which leads to conflict. The second one can be role ambiguity. I have also explained this earlier. Sometimes your responsibility, your role is not clear to you. Right? You're not clear if there is escalation, to whom it needs to be done. If you're not able to complete your work, what are the repercussions, to whom you need to inform. Your role is not clear to you. So obviously, in a longer term, when the things will go back, fingers will be pointed at you and you will point fingers at somebody else, which will lead to interpersonal conflict. Now, conflicts based on locus of conflicts at group level can be categorized into intra-group and intergroup. Right? Intra-group basically refers to conflicts within groups, whereas intergroup refers to conflicts between groups. I hope you're able to understand. Like the way intra-personal refers to conflict within yourself, intra-group refers to conflict within a group. Say there is a group of 10 persons and there is a conflict between them. That is called intra-group conflict. Right? And intergroup conflict, like we discussed, interpersonal is conflict between two people. Similarly, intergroup refers to conflict between groups. So there are two groups of 10 people and both are fighting with each other. That is called intergroup. Now the causes for intra-group, that is within the group conflicts mainly occur because people within the group will have different personalities or they would have different views and ideas, different perceptions or different value systems. Intergroup, that is conflict between different groups occurs due to following reasons. First is goal incompatibility. So management will have different goal of increasing the profit, whereas labor would have different goal of increasing their salary. So obviously they are incompatible with each other. If labor salaries are increased, the profit of company will go down. So this kind of goal incompatibility can lead to conflict between groups. Resource sharing. The best example of conflict between groups with respect to resource sharings, there is a Kaveri river, the water of which is used by Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. And there have been very long fight over the excess of water of this river by both Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Right? So here the fight between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu over Kaveri water is an example of resource sharing. Task relationship. Task relationship means when two groups are performing a task, right, and there is a dependency between
one party completing the task and then only second party can do the task, that leads to conflict. For example, I'll give an example. When there was a pandemic, right, states have a responsibility of curing the patients, but states used to procure oxygen from center. And if states do not have oxygen, they will not be able to cure the people. So there was a task relationship that only if center will provide oxygen to states which are not producing any oxygen, then only states will be able to give treatment to people. So that led to conflict between state and center, because states used to accuse that center is not giving them sufficient oxygen, whereas center used to say no, states are not able to get oxygen because they do not have tankers and all these things. So this kind of task relationship can lead to conflict between two groups. Absorption of uncertainty. When there is uncertainty, when there are no rules and policies, you tend to frame some rules and policies, right, which can lead to conflict. I'll give an example. Suppose there is a accounting department and a marketing department. Now, marketing department people will go outside, right? They will do marketing of their products, maybe going to different shops. They need to eat food outside. They will be required to spend money, or they will be required to fly to different destinations. They might have to buy tickets for that. So all these expenses will get reimbursed from for the company. Now, accounting department, to reduce uncertainty, makes a policy that no, these kind of expenses for which there are no bills will not be reimbursed. Now, marketing department might feel that the rules framed by accounting department are not right, because they might feel that okay, if I'm having a Coca-Cola at a roadside shop, how will I get a bill? Will he give me a 10 rupee bill? No, he will never give me a bill. So he will say that how will I get that reimbursed? But accounting department would say no, unless and until you give a bill, we will not be able to reimburse. So in such a situation, when rules are made by one and they are applied on another party, that leads to conflict between groups. I hope with these examples you are able to understand that what leads to intergroup conflict. The third type of conflicts based upon locus of conflict occurs at organizational level. It can further be categorized into intra-organizational and inter-organizational. I hope by now you would have understood the meaning of intra and inter. Intra means within, inter means between. So intra-organizational conflict, that is within the organization, the example of this is nothing. The conflicts at an individual level or at a group level that we have discussed comes under intra-organizational conflicts itself. Then inter-organizational conflicts basically occur between two organizations. We are not going to discuss much about these type of conflicts. These are out of our scope here. But I just try to give an example. So the conflict between say Pepsi and Coca-Cola. In 90s there was a huge conflict between them. Pepsi used to reduce prices and then Coca-Cola also used to further reduce prices, but always kept them above Pepsi so as to give that feeling of no something superior than Pepsi. But there was a big fight between them. Coca-Cola also launched 5 rupees cola just to push Pepsi back. So their history is long. You might read over Google about the conflict between Pepsi and Coca-Cola. Very interesting case study can be made out of this. So I hope you are now clear about that. For conflicts based upon locus of conflict, conflicts can be at individual level, group level, or organizational level. Let's do some concept checks. Person facing conflict to decide whether to resign and take a job at less salary near home or to continue with a not so satisfying job is an example of. So person is having conflict whether to pursue current job which is giving high salary but is not satisfying, or to resign and take up a job at less salary which is near to his home. So here he is confused between two options inside his mind. So first of all, this is an intrapersonal conflict. Now this is about what to choose. So this is not role conflict, this is goal conflict. Then next is here he has two options but both seem to be not that much lucrative. So one is that take up a job at less salary, so he will get a less salary here, and other one is that job which is paying high salary but is not satisfying. So both the options he want to avoid, but he has to choose one. So this is avoidance conflict. So answer here would be intrapersonal conflict, goal conflict, avoidance conflict. Option number C. Role conflict is a type of what? Intrapersonal, interpersonal, avoidance approach conflict, or avoidance conflict. Role conflict is a type of intrapersonal conflict. We studied intrapersonal conflict can be of two types, goal conflict and role conflict. So this is a intrapersonal conflict. So we're done with conflicts based upon locus of conflict. Now let us move to conflict based on effects. So they can be of two types, functional conflict and dysfunctional conflict. Functional conflict is something which is positive for the organization, which serves the interest of the organization. These type of conflicts are typically issue focused, that is how to make the best product, how to market the product better. So these kind of discussions leads to functional conflict, and when it is issue focused, people think differently, they come up with different ideas which stimulates creativity and innovation, and that's why these conflicts are functional, because they serve the purpose of the organization. On the other hand, dysfunctional conflicts are something that are against the interest of the organization. They are basically person focused. For example, when there is a conflict that, how can you challenge my idea? Why did you not thank me when I perform well? So these kind of conflicts will always be dysfunctional because they are people focused, they are person focused, they are relationship focused. Right? These kind of conflicts will breed hostility that will lead to lack of communication, lack of teamwork, lack of trust, and therefore they will be dysfunctional. That is, they will not be interested in the interest of the organization. So I hope you have understood what is functional and dysfunctional conflict. As an example of functional conflict, I will like to give an example of IBM. IBM has always encouraged employees to think differently, to think on different lines. So it might lead to conflict, but they believe, that is IBM believes that conflict is always functional. It results in innovations, and the Watson supercomputer, which was designed by IBM, can be accredited to the innovation that was stimulated by the conflict within the teams. Right? So again, conflict is not always bad. It can be positive, and that positive conflict is called functional conflict. Now I discuss that what is the relationship between level of conflict and the performance. That is, at what levels of conflict will the conflict be functional, and at what levels of conflict the conflict will be dysfunctional. So this is a chart which shows here the level of conflict is low, here it is very high, and here it is in between, moderate. The performance when the level of conflict is low, the performance is low, but when level of conflict is optimal, the performance increases. That is, creativity or innovation comes in. And when the level of conflict increases too much, it's very high, then again the unit performance increases. So basically what I'm trying to say, when the conflict is either too low or too high, it would be dysfunctional for an organization, whereas when the conflict is moderate, it would be functional for an organization. So when conflict is low and when conflict is high, it is dysfunctional. When it is low, it is dysfunctional because low conflict will never lead to large scale changes in an organization. There won't be much new ideas which can change the landscape itself. And when the conflict is very high, anyways it would be dysfunctional because it would become chaotic. People will not trust each other, people will not cooperate with each other. Right? And conflict will only be functional when it is optimal. Right? Because when it is optimal, when it is at the right level, it will lead to generation of new ideas, people will innovate, people will be creative, and it would be functional for the organization. I hope now you understand that how a level of conflict can decide whether it would be functional or dysfunctional. So that was about conflict based upon effects. Now let us try to understand conflict based upon type of disagreement. That the disagreement is on which thing that decides what type of conflict it is. It is either task, relationship, or process conflict. Let us understand this in detail. Task conflict is something which is based upon what should be the task and what are our goals. So basically the conflict over goals is called task conflict. Relationship conflict is something which is based upon interpersonal relationships. So when people have egos, people have different values, different perceptions, that leads to relationship conflict. Process conflict is related to how the goal needs to be achieved. So when the question comes of how, that leads to process conflict. Right? So task is what needs to be achieved, process is how whatever we have decided needs to be achieved. Now, when it comes to these type of conflicts being functional or dysfunctional, relationship conflict is most of the time dysfunctional, because when there is a relationship conflict, it is because of the egos, value system, perceptions of the individuals. It leads to becoming people-based issue, which is always dysfunctional because people lose trust in each other. On the other hand, task conflict and process conflict, if they are of low to moderate level, then they can be functional. Otherwise, they can also be dysfunctional. Now, factors which impact whether task conflict or process conflict will be functional, right? First, as I told you, if they are of low level, low to moderate level, that is strength of conflict, then they would be functional. Apart from that, it depends upon who is included in the conflict. If the task or process conflict is, say, at the top management level, then those people understand that it is part of their job, it is part of the strategy to discuss things. It would be mostly functional. Whereas at the lower management level, it might get into something dysfunctional. Then, whether task conflict or process conflict will be functional or dysfunctional will also depend upon whether along with these conflict is there any other type of conflict occurring at the same time. If along with, say, task conflict, relationship conflict is also occurring, then task conflict will over a period of time will also become dysfunctional, because when relationship conflict is occurring with task conflict, obviously people will lose trust, they will start blaming each other, they will not be cooperative with each other. So if along with task conflict or process conflict, relationship conflict is also occurring, then obviously it would become dysfunctional. So to summarize, relationship conflict is always dysfunctional, task and process conflict can be functional or dysfunctional. If strength is low, it would mostly be functional. If it is at the top level, it would be functional, otherwise dysfunctional. And if they are occurring individually and they are not occurring with relationship conflict, then they would be functional. Otherwise, if they are occurring with relationship conflict, then it can become dysfunctional. Let us try to do some concept checks now. What level of conflict is mostly functional? Low level of conflict, optimal level of conflict, high level of conflict. So basically we discussed that when it comes to conflict being functional, if the level of conflict is optimal, moderate, then most of the times it would be functional. So the answer would be option number B. Relationship conflict is most of the times. So relationship conflict is a conflict between two people based upon their values, perceptions, etc. And it becomes personalized, therefore it is always dysfunctional, or most of the time it is dysfunctional. So here again the answer is option number D. That's it guys in this video. I hope you are able to understand everything. In next video we are going to start with stages of conflict.
Hello friends, welcome to this new video on your chapter conflict. In this video, I am going to start with stages of conflict. Now, what are the different stages of conflict?
Now see, when a conflict happens, it does not start immediately. You will have faced a conflict with somebody in your life. It does not start immediately. It slowly and slowly builds up, right? And therefore, in theory also, there are different stages of conflict, as in conflict gets built up slowly and slowly. What are these stages? These stages are first is latent conflict, then perceived or felt conflict, then manifest conflict, and then conflict aftermath. And depending upon the conflict aftermath, that whether it has been settled fully or still there is some grudge between the people, it can further lead to new conflict, right? So we are going to discuss these stages one by one. First is latent conflict. Latent conflict is something or a type of conflict or stage of conflict where conflict has not taken shape. It is just happening in the subconscious mind. For example, Ram and Shyam are managers in the company, right? They are in the same department, but they are handling different projects, but they are competing for resources. They are competing for good people who can be onboarded for their projects. Now, when they compete for resources, a kind of conflict is there in their subconscious mind. Though they might be friendly to each other, they might be very cordial to each other in meetings, they might be having their lunch together, but somehow in their mind, they might be thinking subconsciously that they are competing with each other. So the conflict is not apparent, but it is just happening in the subconscious mind. So conditions for such latent conflict can be, for example, one I told you, competition for scarce resources, right? Communication barriers when there is no proper communication taking between them, right? Role ambiguities when they are not clear about these goals. So there can be different reasons. Instead of going into the reasons, it's very important to understand what is latent conflict. That is something which is happening in the subconscious mind. Next is perceived conflict. So first stage is latent conflict. Next is either perceived or felt conflict. Perceived conflict is when one party starts perceiving that the other party is stopping them from achieving their goals. It can be due to misunderstanding also. Now suppose Ram and Shyam, again, there was a latent conflict which was running from a long time, but suddenly Ram one day feels that Shyam is taking all the good resources and all the bad resources are coming to him. He might be thinking that no, he's playing politics by speaking to boss and getting all the good resources. Or there might be misunderstanding. Somebody might have come from outside and spoken to Ram and said, no, Shyam is blocking your goals, is not allowing you to get the good resources. But the nutshell is that Ram will start perceiving that there is a conflict because Shyam is taking all the good resources and he's not able to get any good resources. That might be due to misunderstanding also. So that becomes a perceived conflict when one party starts thinking that other party is blocking them from achieving their goals. Next comes the felt conflict. Felt conflict is when the conflict is not only perceived, but it is actually felt. So Ram, when he starts perceiving that Shyam is taking all the good resources and all the bad resources are coming to him, so it is on his mind since 7-8 days. One day Ram goes to Shyam and he has an argument with Shyam that why are you taking all the good resources? You are not giving me any good resources. I am having all the bad resources. How will I complete my project? All those things. They have an argument over that. Shyam takes that very professionally. He takes it as a part of job. After the argument is over, Shyam is able to concentrate on his work. Whereas Ram starts taking the conflict personally. Right? For him, the conflict has become personalized. He's not able to trust Shyam now. He's not able to concentrate on his work. So for Ram, the stage of conflict is felt conflict. Now he's not only perceiving, he's feeling it. That has already occurred because he has personalized that in his mind when he has an argument with Shyam. Next stage is manifest conflict. Manifest conflict is the actual stage when people engage in behaviors which leads to responses like aggression or argument, things like that. So suppose After their argument, right, what I explained in the last slide, Ram starts bad-mouthing about Shyam to all the people in the department, right? And when Shyam comes to know about that, it really irritates him. And then Shyam and Ram really had a bitter quarrel, really had a bitter argument. Both were aggressive towards each other. They tried to push each other even. So that was the time when the conflict has actually manifested. Because in the previous stage, felt conflict, yes, an argument happened, but Shyam did not felt it. He just took it as a part of his professional life, whereas Ram personalized that and he felt the conflict. But now both the parties are engaging into behaviors and responses which are not expected. So that is a manifest stage of conflict. Conflict is evoking responses or behaviors. The next stage is conflict aftermath. So conflict aftermath basically refers to the situation that once the conflict has settled, the dust has settled, what are the feelings both the parties having toward each other? Are they satisfied? Have they become friendly, or are they still having grudge against each other? Things like that. So suppose after their argument, right, what I explained in the last slide, Ram starts bad-mouthing about Shyam to all the people in the department, right? And when Shyam comes to know about that, it really irritates him. And then Shyam and Ram really had a bitter quarrel, really had a bitter argument. Both were aggressive towards each other. They tried to push each other even. So that was the time when the conflict has actually manifested. Because in the previous stage, felt conflict, yes, an argument happened, but Shyam did not felt it. He just took it as a part of his professional life, whereas Ram personalized that and he felt the conflict. But now both the parties are engaging into behaviors and responses which are not expected. So that is a manifest stage of conflict. Conflict is evoking responses or behaviors. The next stage is conflict aftermath. So conflict aftermath basically refers to the situation that once the conflict has settled, the dust has settled, what are the feelings both the parties having toward each other? Are they satisfied? Have they become friendly, or are they still having grudge against each other? So depending upon what is the conflict aftermath, it will basically decide whether there would be further conflict or not. Because if they are still having some grudge against each other, right, then they would not still trust each other, and somehow somewhere another conflict will start and it will pass through these stages. But if they are fully satisfied, all the misunderstandings have been removed, they have become friendly, then maybe another conflict will not emerge in near future. So in our example, suppose a boss of Ram and Shyam calls both of them, tries to resolve the conflict by talking to them that, hey, what are you doing? Everybody is making fun of you, right? And for the moment they shake their hands, but within their minds they have lost the trust in each other. They still have grudge against each other, and depending upon this, since they are having grudge against each other, somehow a next conflict will soon emerge and it will go through all these stages. Now let's do a concept check, the stage at which conflict leads to responses such as aggression, etc. So we discussed that the stage at which responses come out, right, when people actually behave, that is called manifest stage of conflict. So answer here is option number C. So we have discussed about stages of conflict. Now I'm going to discuss about process of conflict. So now I discuss about process of conflict, and when I say conflict process, it is somewhat similar to the stages of conflict. So say stage 1, which is about potential opposition or incompatibility, is similar to latent conflict, where kind of conflict is not apparent, but it is happening in the subconscious mind. So there can be conditions, as we discussed the conditions in case of latent conflict, no lack of proper communication, personal variables like emotions, moods, values, structure. Structure is the same as we discussed in an example of a salesman selling furniture and a credit approver approving the credit application. So that is an example of structure. So the first stage, potential opposition or incompatibility, is similar to latent stage. Then the second stage is about cognition and personalization. Cognition means where the conflict is perceived, and personalization means where it gets personalized, that is felt. So again, cognition and personalization, that is stage 2, is similar to perceived or felt conflict. Now there comes the difference. Stage 3 is intention, stage 4 is behavior. If you come here, there is only one stage, manifest conflict, which is about the behavior, right, which leads to responses. Whereas in stage 3 and stage 4, they talk about intentions and behavior separately. So this is the difference between this conflict process and stages of conflict. Intentions means what is the intention of parties, right, who are into conflict. Intention can be competing, collaborating, compromising, avoiding, accommodating, and depending upon these intentions, the behavior of other party will be decided. So what are these different intentions? Competing means that people want to win at any cost. So this kind of intention will basically invoke a behavior that people will compete with each other. Collaborating means where people want to collaborate, they want to co-create a shared solution that everybody can support. Right, that you collaborate and create a solution which is in favor of everyone. For example, the merger of Vodafone and Vodafone and Jio, they were competing, but then they collaborated. So here you try to find a solution. The behavior would be you try to find a solution that satisfies all the parties. Then avoiding is that you just avoid the conflict. This is your intention. You want to avoid the conflict. Your behavior would be you will refuse to discuss any issues. Accommodating is when you give in to the wishes of other party. For example, you accept kind of defeat, I would say. So here one party will give in to the wishes of other party. So in accommodating, basically the behavior is that people tend to put their relationships first instead of the conflict itself. So sometimes you might understand you are having a conflict with your partner, and now you feel that it's okay. I have done work with this partner since last 10 years. Anyways, if he's asking for something, let me concede, even if that means a loss to me. So that can be explained as an accommodating behavior. Or accommodating intention, and behavior would be you are putting relationship first instead of the conflict itself. Then compromising is where both the parties compromise. They both understand that we have to lose something and they have to win something. So here basically the behavior is that parties are ready to sacrifice their interest, and they hope that the other parties will also sacrifice their interest, and that will lead to a solution. So in this process of conflict in stage 3 and stage 4, it is basically about intentions, and those intentions will decide that what type of behavior will be there of different parties in the conflict. And the fifth stage is outcomes. Outcomes is basically about conflict aftermath. That after the conflict has been settled, what is the outcome? Is it leading to increased group performance, which can be in the case of functional conflict, or it has decreased the group performance, which would be the case of dysfunctional conflict. So I hope you have understood these stages of conflict under process of conflict. I repeat again, these are somewhat similar to what we have discussed here in these stages of conflict, but there is a difference. If in exam they ask you to write about stages of conflict, I think this one gives a more professional look to fetch you more marks. So let's now move on to managing conflict. That is how the conflicts can be managed in an organization. Let's discuss about managing conflict. To manage conflict, there can be preventive measures, there can be corrective measures. Preventive measures is all about taking steps beforehand so as to prevent conflict from emerging, whereas corrective measures are basically based upon that once the conflict has occurred, how to resolve that conflict, right? So preventive measures and corrective measures, let us first discuss about preventive measures. Now under preventive measures, this is the list of preventive measures, right? First is participative decision making. Participative decision making is all about that you need to include people into decision making so that they realize that why certain decision is being taken, what are the objectives of the organization. If they understand all that, then they will be committed towards the goals of the organization rather than their own self goals, and the conflict can reduce. Second is effective two-way communication. Now, most of the times we have seen that if there is lack of communication, people start assuming certain things, and those assumptions lead to confusion, and that ultimately leads to conflict. So there needs to be proper two-way communication from management to workers and from workers to management so as to avoid any confusion at any level of the organization, which will reduce conflict. Improvement in interpersonal relationships. Now everybody has different perceptions, values and attitudes, and we can't force other people to change their perceptions, values and attitudes. Therefore, it becomes very important that in an organization, a culture is established where people are taught that they need to respect others' perceptions, values and attitudes. Next is establishing common goals. Here I would like to give a very interesting example of Infosys. Infosys in its early days, when it was growing in 1980s, had no performance-based component where employees were given salary based upon their performance. And performance was obviously measured relatively. If there are 3 people in the team, one would have performed good. Who else performed better than others? Right. So this led to everybody projecting that he is better than other people. That obviously created a lot of rift between people and that led to conflict. So then Infosys came to the conclusion that instead of establishing individual performance-based pay system, let us establish a system in which the pay of an individual will depend upon the performance of the organization. So basically, if the pay of everyone is related to performance of the organization, say if profit of the company is this much, then you will get this much pay. If the profit of the company is this much, then you will get this much pay. So by creating that kind of relationship, you are basically making them go for a common goal. That is to increase the performance of the organization. So when you establish common goals, people work as a team, people work together to achieve that common goal, and conflicts are minimized. Next is effective leadership. Now leaders are somebody who hold the team together, they create a vision for the team, they motivate the team, they guide the team, they direct the team. Leadership is a very important role. Good leaders tend to make a lot of difference. If leaders knows how to handle the team, how to meet their needs, how to handle each individual differently, then obviously the conflicts in the team can be minimized. Next is the structural changes. Now what are structural changes? Structural changes are something which are related to the structure of the organization. That is, by changing that structure in the organization, the conflict can be reduced. I gave an example of structural conflict where the structure of the organization led to a conflict. I hope you remember that example, that one person was selling furniture and one lady was approving the loan applications, and due to this structure in the organization, both of them were in conflict. So due to structure of an organization, conflict can arise. So how the structural changes can be done so that the conflict can be reduced? First one under structural changes is reduction in interdependence. Interdependence means that they are interdependent on each other. Maybe they are using a common pool of resources, or output of one is becoming an input for other. So when there is these kind of interdependence, one party tends to have a higher position, one party tends to have more power than the other party. So that creates the conflict in an organization. So as much as possible, interdependence needs to be reduced, though it cannot be completely avoided. Next is reduction in shared resources. When resources are shared, obviously everybody tries to get the maximum out of that. That leads to conflict. We cannot even expand the pool of resources because resources are always limited. But yes, if we can minimize as much as of resource sharing, that will decrease the conflict. Exchange of personal. Sometimes we do not understand the other's ideas. We do not understand the other's perspective. So if we exchange person in different positions after a particular interval, that can reduce conflict, because when they exchange their positions, when they work in the opposite profile, they will tend to understand the perspective of other person which they were not able to understand earlier. So exchange of personal is also a good technique to manage conflict. Next is creation of special integrators. Integrators are nothing but they are kind of moderators, mediators who try to act as a link between two departments or two groups. They try to understand what is going wrong, what needs to be handled so that no conflicts can be minimized. Next is reference to superior's authority, which is also called as authoritative command. Now, sometimes what happens is when say people or groups are not able to close the conflict, they are not able to reach any conclusion, then and suggestion or a solution can be that they go to their superior, tell that no, this is the conflict taking place, and leave it to their superior to take the decision. It might be in anyone's favor, but the superior's decision would be the ultimate one. So if you use superior's authority, at least an outcome would be there, definite outcome would be there, right? It might be in favor of one, it might be against one, but at least the conflict will come to an end in a sense that the groups will move forward, though they might have grudge against each other say. So reference to superior's authority is one of the another ways which can be used to manage conflict. So that was about preventive measures to manage conflict. Now let us discuss about curative measures to manage conflict. Now having discussed about conflict, how to resolve conflict. So there are conflict resolution strategies given by Kenneth Thomas and Ralph Gilman. This is very important. There are 5 conflict resolution strategies given by Kenneth Thomas and Ralph Gilman. So these 5 resolution strategies are basically defined in this matrix where in horizontal axis there is cooperativeness increasing from left to right, and on y axis there is assertiveness increasing from bottom to top. Right. So on the left hand side one is uncooperative, on the right hand side one is cooperative, at the bottom one is unassertive, and at the top one is assertive. So on these metrics, these 5 resolution strategies are defined. If you understand these metrics, you will never forget about these 5 resolution strategies. So let's first discuss about avoiding. In avoiding, one is uncooperative. He does not cooperate, but that doesn't mean that he will make his demands win over other people, because he is uncooperative and unassertive. It means both parties are ignoring the issue. Both are uncooperative. They are not cooperating, but they are not pressing also. They are unassertive. They are just ignoring the issue. So both parties ignore the issue. Then there is competing. Competing is you are uncooperative and assertive. So competing, you are not cooperating and you are assertive. That is, you are pressing for your demands. So in competing, out of 2 parties, only one party will win at the end. Then there is collaborating. You are cooperative, but you being cooperative doesn't mean that you have given up on your demands. You are cooperative and assertive. Right, so in collaboration, basically both the parties are cooperating, but they are pressing for the demands. So in the end, they basically come up with a solution which is a win-win for everyone. So in collaborating, the solution meets the needs of all involved. Then there is accommodating. In accommodating, one is cooperative and unassertive. Right, so the party who is cooperative and unassertive will basically give up on their demands. So another party will win. So in this accommodating, one party will win and other party will lose at the expense of winning party. So it means one party will accommodate the demands of other party. Then there is compromising, which is in between. So you are little cooperative and little assertive. So in compromising, basically both the parties give up something and both the parties take up something. Right. So it's a balanced kind of thing that nobody can win and nobody should lose. So both parties get something and both parties leave some of their demands. Right. So if you understand this matrix, right, and this table, I think you will be better position to remember these 5 conflict resolution strategies, which are very easy to understand if you try to understand. If you try to cram them, then it might become difficult for you. Right. So till now we have talked about managing conflict as in preventing it altogether, or curative measures where the conflict is resolved. So basically we are taking a view that conflict is negative for an organization, but we have earlier discussed that conflict is not only about negative aspects, it can have positive aspects also. So under managing conflict, we also need to study conflict stimulation, like how to stimulate conflict if we see conflict as something positive for the organization, because conflict is not after all bad every time. So under managing conflict, it's not about just controlling it or preventing it. In fact, we also talk about stimulating the conflict, increasing the conflict. So how to stimulate the conflict? Very easy, right? And we are like, no, we have done that many times in the past. I hope everybody of you have stimulated conflict, at your home or in your office or within your friend circle. We tend to do, though at a very lower level. So what are the techniques? You start using ambiguous communication, which is not clear, because good communication will resolve conflict, ambiguous communication will stimulate the conflict. Next is bring in outsiders. You bring in outsiders who have different values and opinions than the people who are currently working in the team. That will stimulate the conflict. You restructure the organization, increase the interdependence between the teams. Now, reduce the interdependence, resolves conflict. It means increased interdependence will increase the conflict. You appoint a devil's advocate, that one person you appoint in the team who will always criticize everybody in the team. Or who will always criticize one group, who will always appreciate another group. That will also stimulate the conflict in the group. And there can be other techniques. You establish some incompatible goals, you increase the shared resources, right? So all these things, basically exactly opposite to what we have discussed in conflict prevention or conflict resolution, you do opposite of that and the conflict will stimulate. Let us do a concept check. Which of the following is the structural change that will reduce conflict? Participative decision making, it will reduce conflict, but it does not come under the category of structural change. Two-way communication, again, it will reduce conflict, but it is not a structural change. Reducing interdependence between teams, yes, it will reduce conflict and it comes under a structural change. So your answer would be option number C. Next is, in which type of conflict resolution strategies the need for both the parties are met without giving up on anything? The need for both the parties are met, demand for both the parties are met, and they do not give up on anything. So is it compromising, collaborating, accommodating, or competing? The answer here is collaborating. If you remember, right, we discussed here in this paper, in collaborating, need of all the parties are met. In compromising also they compromise, but they have to give up on something. Compromise means they will give up on something and they will gain something. So need of both the parties are met without giving up on anything. That is option number B, collaborating. Next question can also be easily done now. In which type of conflict resolution strategies both the parties give up on something? Both the parties give up on something. Right, it is compromising. Because in competing, only one party gives up everyone and another party wins. In collaborating, no party gives up anything. In accommodating, right, one party gets everything, another party gets nothing, and it is only in compromising that both parties gives up on something. So answer here would be compromising, option number A. Right. So these kind of questions can be confusing. So that's why read them very carefully. Read within the lines what can be the questions formed, how the questions can be formed. Then you will be in a better position to answer such type of questions. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching this video. In the next video, I'll start with negotiation and types of negotiation.
Hello friends, welcome to Eduta. Welcome to this video on your chapter conflict. In this video, I'm going to start with negotiation and types of negotiation. Now, negotiation, as we all know, negotiation is basically bargaining when you try to push your interest. Now, negotiation can be of two types: distributive bargaining or integrative bargaining. Now, if you clearly see this picture, that itself explains what is the meaning of distributive and integrative. Distributive bargaining is all about that you try to get maximum out of a fixed pie. So this is kind of win-lose situation. One person will win and other will lose. So it's a competitive bargaining strategy, right? One person wins, others lose, and everybody tries to get maximum out of a fixed pie. On the other hand, integrative bargaining is basically called win-win bargaining, because here you do not try to compete. Instead, you try to collaborate, and you collaborate in such a way that the initial pie might be small, but when you collaborate, the results can be much better. The result pie would be much greater, from which everybody can take a fair share. Right? So integrative bargaining is all about collaborating, a win-win bargaining in which everybody tries to collaborate in such a way so as to create a win-win solution to their dispute. So I hope you are able to understand the basic difference between distributive bargaining and integrative bargaining. Let us try to go in more depth and try to understand the exact difference between distributive and integrative negotiation strategy. So in distributive negotiation strategy, parties tries to gain maximum value for themselves. That is, the pie is fixed, resources are definite, and everybody tries to gain maximum out of that. So it's a win-lose situation. One would win, other would lose. Another is integrative negotiation strategy, which can be, as I discussed, it is something where you collaborate, where you increase the size of pie itself. Right? So integrative negotiation strategy basically is all about collaboration, a win-win situation for everybody. Distributive negotiation is competitive, integrative is collaborative. This also we discussed. Distributive is win-lose, integrative is win-win. Distributive negotiation strategy is to be used when resources are limited. On the other hand, integrative negotiation strategy is to be used when the resources are in abundance. But there is another point to it also. Integrative negotiation can be used when the resources might be limited, but by collaborating you can basically increase the pool of resources. Then also integrative negotiation can be used. In distributive negotiation, the self-interest and the individual profit motive of the parties matter the most, whereas in integrative negotiation, it's about mutual interest, that how both the parties can collaborate and gain, then competing with each other. So that is about distributive negotiation strategy and integrative negotiation strategy. In theory, yes, integrative negotiation strategy is more productive, is more beneficial, but it's not practical. We have seen big fights between the corporates because it's about distributive negotiation strategy when it comes to real action. A real life example of negotiation, if I like to give here, would be of Tata Motors. So Tata Motors had a huge dispute or conflict with its union. They tried to settle it out, and finally in 2015 they came out with a settlement in which 6,400 workers, right, 6,400 workers will be basically covered under the performance-linked wage system now. Right? So earlier it was like fixed pay for everybody. Workers used to demand bonus, which used to create conflict between the management and the workers. But then after the negotiations, both the parties created a win-win situation. Tata Motors said, hey, if you work well, the performance of the company will increase. We would be more than happy to give you bonuses. And for workers also, if they perform better and if they get bonuses, that was something acceptable. So that was kind of integrated negotiation strategy that followed between Tata Motors management and the workers at their plants. And I hope that it will benefit both the Tata Motors and the workers at their plant. Now we discussed about two bargaining strategies. Is it about that only one of the bargaining strategies can be used at a time? The answer is no. In fact, we need to integrate the two bargaining strategies within the negotiation process. I'll give an example. So when you start your negotiation, it needs to be integrated. Both the parties need to clarify their needs. Both the parties need to basically understand the interest of each other. And both the parties need not compromise on anything. They should try to create a solution which benefits both of them, which creates value for both of them. So maybe in the initial phase it needs to be integrated, but obviously if the resources are limited, at a certain point it will convert into distributive. So later, after they understand the interest and they have clarified their own needs, they would have better understanding of the situation, or each party would understand other better, then they can go for a distributive strategy. Each party would set high goals, that okay, now I'll try to get maximum, right? I will set my high goals, and finally, when it comes to slicing the pie, getting the maximum, so
each party would try to get the maximum pie out of the resources, but at this point in time also the interest of other parties must be kept in mind. You cannot be expecting something where you get 100% of the resources. That is not a real scenario. So here integrative then distributive, but in distributive also have some common sense, have some empathy for the other party also who's in the negotiation process. We discussed about integrative and distributive negotiation strategy. Apart from that, there are other bargaining strategies that you must know. First is productivity bargaining. Productivity bargaining is basically related to bargaining around productivity and pay. Sometimes management wants to increase the productivity. They might want to introduce some new methods or methodologies of working. So therefore, they would need to convince workers to change their style of working. In turn, workers will ask for increased pay because their logic would be that if you are asking us to increase the productivity, then your profits will increase and therefore our pay should also increase. So productivity bargaining is all about negotiating around productivity and pay. Next is composite bargaining. Composite bargaining refers to negotiation between management and workers, which is not related to pay. It is related to something else. For example, if employees or workers want more welfare measures like better education facilities, better medical facilities, better recreation facilities, that would come under composite bargaining. So composite bargaining is actually meant to ensure that there is long-term relationship between the workers and the management. Third type is concessionary bargaining. Concessionary bargaining happens during economic decline, when the profits of the company are less or sales is less and company is looking to lay off some workers. So in that case, workers will do concessionary bargaining that, okay, we are ready to let off some benefits, we are ready for pay cuts, but management is requested not to lay off any workers. So that is concessionary bargaining, right? So I hope you would have understood all these three bargaining strategies. Very simple, but logical to understand. So that was about negotiation and types of negotiation. Now I will move to negotiation process. So what are the steps in the negotiation process? There are basically 5 steps in the negotiation process. This is not something hardcore. Different theorists or different authors might give different set of steps, but the crux remains the same. First is preparation and planning. So in this phase, you basically try to find out that what are the possible trade-offs. You try to find out that what is the most desired situation. Suppose you want to sell your property. The most desired situation is that you are able to sell that, say, it in 2.5 crores. And the least desired for you would be say that, no, okay, even if I get 2.2 crores, I'll sell it. So you try to determine what is your most desired and least desired possible outcomes. And you prepare your BATNA. BATNA stands for best alternative to negotiated agreement. That if your negotiation does not comes out to be fruitful, then what is your BATNA? What is your best alternative to negotiated agreement? You should have plan B. Then definition of ground rules. Ground rules means basically who will do the negotiation at what time, at what place it will take place, what are the other constraints. All those things will come under definition of ground rules. Then clarification and justification. So basically this is all about clarifying your needs, understanding their interest, right? And everybody will try to justify their original demands. So this is about a kind of starting of the negotiation process where both the parties try to clarify and justify. And then the negotiation gets more involved, where bargaining and problem solving starts. So both sides begin give and take. There are hard talks. People will try to push each other. And finally the closure and implementation. So this is about once any solution has been reached, or even if solution has not been reached, you just get up, shake hands, and you move ahead. But if some solution has been reached, then there is talk about that how it will be implemented, in what time it will be implemented. All these details would be discussed. It might include a written contract also sometimes, because many times we don't agree or we don't trust with the word of mouth. So therefore we try to enter into a written contract so that there is an official written legal document on what has been decided. So this is about the negotiation process. Now let's do a concept check. What is full form of BATNA? These kind of questions come in your exam. BATNA is best alternative to negotiated agreement. So the answer is this one. So that was about the negotiation process. Now we will discuss about individual differences in the negotiation effectiveness. Like, are there any individual characteristics that can impact the effectiveness of a person in the negotiation? So let's try to discuss that. The set of factors that can impact the effectiveness of a negotiator in the negotiation are personality traits, moods, emotions, cultures, and gender differences. How can a personality impact the negotiation effectiveness? So personality can be of different types. For example, agreeable individuals who tend to agree to things more quickly, they felt more comfortable in negotiations which are integrative rather than which are distributive ones. Because in distributive ones you have to fight hard, you have to compete, which is against the nature of agreeable persons. Extroverted persons are those which talk a lot, which give a lot of information. So extroverted negotiators also do less well in distributive negotiations, because when you give more information, that goes against you. So extroverted negotiators are less effective in distributive negotiations. Next is higher self-efficacy. So people who are self-confident, they believe in themselves that they can pull off things, they are better in negotiations. Nelson Mandela is known to be one of the best negotiators in history. He always stood to his point, he always stood to his principles, but at the same time he was ready to compromise on certain things which were not important to him, and that is the good trait for any negotiator. Next is moods and emotions. Your emotion can also impact your negotiation effectiveness. For example, anger. The research has shown that if one party shows anger, the other party concedes, other party gives concessions. So in a way, anger can increase the effectiveness of the negotiator, but there is a disclaimer, only if you have equal power. If you don't have power or equal power and you show anger in the front of other party, they'll just kick you out of the room, right? So it needs to be used effectively. Then anxiety. People who are anxious, they are basically afraid of negotiations going bad. They respond to offers more quickly. They want to exit the bargaining process even if they get less. So anxiousness also affects the negotiation. In a way, it negatively impacts the negotiation. Culture is also one of the factors that can impact the negotiation effectiveness. First is people generally negotiate more effectively with the people who are from the same culture. If you have to negotiate with somebody else from a different culture, the effectiveness might decrease. Then research has been done that how US and Chinese negotiators respond to anger. Because they have different cultures, they respond differently. It was seen that Chinese negotiators, when other party becomes angry, Chinese negotiators start bargaining hard. That is, they are not frightened by the anger. If other party shows anger, they even become more strict in the negotiation. Whereas US negotiators gave concessions if the other party became angry. So culture can also impact on the negotiation effectiveness. Next is gender differences. Now again, I truly believe like anyone that men and women are equal, and I've seen women even scaling more heights than men. So I'm not trying to be kind of having a patriarch mindset here, but research suggests, right, that women normally demonstrate less confidence than men when they are about to go into a negotiation, and they also feel less satisfied when they come out of the negotiation. So gender differences can also impact the negotiation effectiveness, but I think this is not something to be biased against men. This is just what research has suggested, but there have been equal powerful women negotiators like Indra Nooyi and Chanda Kochar. They are known to be hard negotiators, and that's why I think they have been able to take their companies so forward. So that was about individual differences in the negotiation effectiveness. Now I'll discuss about third-party negotiations. Now, sometimes the negotiations break off, there is a stalemate, and obviously a third party has to come in which will resolve the conflict, which will help the parties negotiate further. So that is called third-party negotiations. Now, third-party negotiations can have third parties like mediator, arbitrator, and conciliator. All these are different. Let me try to explain that. Mediator is a neutral third party that tries to facilitate a negotiation, right? So it makes people stick together, but along with that, it also suggests alternatives, right? It also gives reasoning behind the logic of both the parties, what they are saying. So basically, mediator is not only about making people come together, it's also about getting involved. persuading both the parties to agree to a solution, suggesting alternatives, and various other things. But mediator can only work under moderate levels of conflict. If the level of conflict is very high, then mediator might become ineffective. Next is arbitrator. Arbitrator is also a third party which helps negotiations, but arbitrator is different from mediator. Arbitrator can dictate an agreement. That is, whatever the solution is suggested by a mediator might not be agreed by both the parties, but arbitrator has the power that in the end, whatever solution it dictates, that has to be agreed by both the parties. So arbitrator is like a judgment. Arbitration will always result in settlement, though mediation might fail. Next is conciliator. Now conciliator is also different from mediator. Conciliator is just a person who tries to bring the parties together. He might not suggest alternatives. He might not persuade the parties to agree to a certain solution, but his responsibility might be only to make people come together. That is to act as informal communication link between both the parties. So conciliator is different from a mediator, as in mediator will suggest alternatives, pursue to agree to a particular solution, whereas conciliator might only act as informal communication link and might not persuade or suggest alternatives. But then conciliators in literal sense means what I explained, but actually if you see conciliators when they work on ground level, it's not only about just acting as a communication link, they also then engage themselves in fact finding, interpreting messaging, persuading people, right, suggesting alternatives. So theoretically there is a difference between being a conciliator and a mediator, but on a ground level I've seen conciliators also working as mediators. Right? But arbitrator is something really difficult. It is really different. Arbitrator has a power to dictate an agreement which mediator or conciliator does not have. Now let's do a concept check. Third party which is authority to dictate an agreement, that's very easy, that's an arbitrator. Answer is option number B. That was about third party negotiations. Now I'll start discussing about implications for managers, as in whatever we have discussed in conflict. What are the implications? What are the learnings for managers out of that? So learnings can be many, but I'll just try to put through some of the learnings. Right? First one is that distributive bargaining can resolve disputes, but over a longer period of time it will always lead to grudges. So seek integrative solutions for the long-term benefit, but yes, sometimes it's not possible to seek integrative solutions. Then only the distributive bargaining shall be used. Third is you shall build trust by accommodating others when you find you are wrong. Sometimes we enter into a conflict, we enter into a negotiation, but then we realize that we are wrong. So at any point in conflict, when you realize that you are wrong, right, your expectations were wrong, then try to accommodate, give in to the wishes of other party. There is nothing wrong in that. Accepting a mistake is not something wrong. Consider compromising when goals are important, but not worth the potential disruption. Sometimes you are too much into conflict and both opponents are of equal power. You are not reaching any solution. There is a light at the end of tunnel in terms of compromise, so do go for that compromise. Do not delay that. Do not ever avoid conflict. Conflicting will further complicate the issues and conflict will even become bigger. And compete when something large is at stake. Your opponent is also not ready to compromise and you seem to have equal power. Then you can compete for something which is very close to your heart. So these are some of the implications, though there can be many dimensions in terms of implications for managers, right? So you need to open up your mind and think about other implications for managers from whatever we have studied related to conflict in this chapter. Thanks guys. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.